Welcome back to Court TV Live. I'm Michael Ayala. It is time now for today's Talkback segment. Each day we post a question on Court TV's social media pages. We gather your comments and questions and respond right here on the show. Today's question: who did better on the stand testifying in their own defense, Kyle Rittenhouse or Travis McMichael? Still with me, LA County Deputy Public Defender Philip Dube. And Philip, let's get to our first comment. And it comes from Tim Weekly. He says, Rittenhouse for sure. Kyle gets a 9 out of 10. I docked him a point because no water actually came out of his eyes. Other than that, flawless. All right, so we'll start there. We'll start, actually, I want to get your assessment of that question. Who do you think did better on the stand? Kyle?
Kyle, yes. Kyle Rittenhouse did, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think he had a better explanation for his need to use deadly force. I don't think Travis McMichael really justified his need to use deadly force. He certainly may have had his suspicions. He may have had hunches. He may have been curious about whether or not Ahmaud Arbery was up to no good. But it certainly fell short of probable cause. And for him to get up on that stand and say that he felt the need to defend himself from a fleeing young man who was unarmed, I think is going to be a very tough sell to the jury.
Yeah, that all came down to that testimony about apparently how he interacted and attacked the other truck, and that scared him. And then he was afraid. He had his father had a .357, was on the bed of the truck, and he had a rifle pointed at him about 40 yards away. He's afraid for his life for a young man who was unarmed. And I thought the state did a pretty good job on cross there. Let's get to our next comment. It comes from Cassie. She says, crybaby Kyle did. Travis got caught out in a lot of his lies. His lawyers clearly tried their best to coach him. And then she puts out totality of the circumstances. That's lawyer talk, faced with rolling eyes. But he couldn't keep his fairy tale straight at all. And I think she hits the nail on the head completely there about Travis's testimony. The first thing that jumped out about me was the fact that he just didn't sound like a normal person. He sounded like someone who had been coached.
Oh, yeah, there is no question that his attorney sat him down probably for hours on end, told him how to react, how to sit, stay cool, stay calm, don't be defiant in any way. Certainly don't raise your voice and don't lie. It's okay. I tell clients all the time, and even defense witnesses, if you don't remember something, just say, I don't remember.
Yeah, and I give him an A for effort. I thought he went up there and did his absolute best, but again, the story just didn't hold up. All right, let's go to our next comment. It comes from Kenny Chance. He says, both were playing vigilante and now heavily relying on their privilege. Interesting. Privilege has come up a couple of times in both cases. I think it's valid, but I certainly think there's differences between the two.
Oh, I don't see privilege as an issue with Kyle Rittenhouse. You have a 17-year-old kid. Look at that baby face on him. Okay, he certainly didn't grow up.
Just let me stop you there, Philip, quickly. When I use that, what I'm saying is just the idea that you can go down as a 17-year-old with an AR-15 in the middle of what is essentially a war zone, right? And have no real experience in that type of situation. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no, of course. I understand what you mean. He truly was what I call a babe in the woods who was trying to be the big shot out there. I don't think he went there to wreak havoc, to harm anybody. I truly believe he went there to be a help, to be a medic, and to certainly prevent that car lot from, being set on fire. And he brought a gun, or at least he had a gun given to him by that family friend. And, he obviously gave the appearance that he had tremendous firepower, and it probably gave the appearance of don't mess with me. But if you believe his testimony, he was truly there to help in the middle of an insurrection, during the middle of what appeared to look like Beirut. I mean, they were marauding and plundering and pillaging and setting fires and throwing rocks and whacking people with skateboards. We'll see.
Yeah, that certainly seemed what the evidence pointed to. All right, Philip Dube, I want to thank you so much for being with me. As always, I always appreciate your presence. You'll be back soon, I'm sure. I'm Michael Ayala. It's been a pleasure being with you. Coming up next in closing arguments, Vinnie Politan takes a look at the biggest moments in the trial of the men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery. So keep it right here on Court TV. Right now, I want to bring in